All of you very good morning students. Today topic mechanism of breathing. Mechanism of breathing. So the mechanism of breathing means these are presenting on the two steps. Breathing means they taken up the inhalation of air, exhalation of the air. So the mechanism of breathing, they are the two steps. First one is the inspiration. First one inspiration. Second one is the expiration. Inspiration and expiration. So expiration. Inspiration means they intake of the air, atmospheric air taken of the lungs. So intake of the air, so they are called the inspiration from the atmospheric air to lungs. So they are the inspiration. Next one expiration. So expiration means the air, in the lungs presenting on the air, that air going to the outside. So they are called the expiration. Inspiration, expiration. So inspiration means outside air taken of the outside air in the lungs. So they are the inspiration. Expiration means the inside of the lung air, they are going to the outside. So they are called the expiration. Inspiration and expiration. Next one. So these mechanism of breathing. So they are controlled by the muscles. The muscles are the costal muscles. The muscles are the costal muscles. The costal muscles are presenting on the between the ribs, presenting on the muscles. That muscles are called the costal muscles. External intercostal muscles and internal intercostal muscles. So these breathing is a majorly a pressure, depending on the pressure, the atmospheric pressure and lung pressure, the thoracic cavity pressure and lung pressure. So the inspiration time, so the inspiration time, so the atmospheric pressure, air pressure is high, atmosphere air pressure is high, in the lung air pressure is low, atmosphere pressure is high, the lung pressure is low. So the air coming from the outside to inside. So the coming to the respiratory tract, the air is entering to the lungs. So the expiration time, the expiration time, so the in the lung air pressure is high comparing to the atmospheric pressure. So the atmospheric pressure is low, the lung pressure is high. So the lung air going to the outside. So they are the mechanism of breathing. So they are presenting on the two steps. First one inspiration, second one expiration. Inspiration and expiration. First one inspiration. First one inspiration. So the mechanism of breathing, the 4 marks very important question. 4 marks very important question. Inspiration and expiration. In IP exam 4 marks very important question. Inspiration and expiration. First one inspiration. First one inspiration. So the inspiration is the active process. Inspiration is the active process. Inspiration is the active process. Active process means the loss of the some amount of energy. The loss of the some amount of the energy. So that process is called the active process. Active process. The inspiration time duration 2 seconds. Inspiration time duration 2 seconds. Inspiration time duration 2 seconds. So the inspiration, the contraction of external intercostal muscles. Contraction of external intercostal muscles and contraction of diaphragm muscles. Diaphragm muscles. The contraction of external intercostal muscles and contraction of diaphragm muscles. Contraction of external intercostal muscles and contraction of diaphragm muscles. So the contraction of diaphragm muscles, the contraction of the diaphragm muscles, the diaphragm normal shape is the dome shape. So this shape is the dome shape. Diaphragm normal shape is the dome shape. So the diaphragm muscle is contraction. These are the flat. These converted to the flat. Normal time the diaphragm shape is the dome shape. The diaphragm muscles are the contraction. The diaphragm is converted to the flat. The diaphragm is converted to the flat. Next one, the contraction of external intercostal muscles. The contraction of external intercostal muscles. The sternum is upwards. The bone is called the sternal bone. The sternal bone is the upwards, the inspiration. So the ribs are the upwards. Sternal bone is upwards and ribs also upwards. So they are the ribs. The ribs are the upwards. So the ribs are the upwards. So they are presenting on the sternal bone. The sternal bone also upwards and ribs also upwards. So the thoracic volume, the cavity volume is increases. The thoracic cavity volume is increased. The thoracic volume is the cavity volume is increases. So the space is increases. That time pressure decrease. Lung pressure decrease. The cavity increase, pressure is decreases. That time atmospheric pressure is high. So the atmospheric pressure is the high. So the high temperature, high concentration to low temperature. The pressure is high in the atmospheric air, low in the lung air. So the air moving from the trachea, respiratory tract to lungs. So these are the inspiration. Once revised, the inspiration is the active process. The inspiration is the active process. The active process means there is some loss of the some amount of the energy. Next one, the time duration is 2 seconds. The time duration 2 seconds. Next one, the inspiration time, the contraction of external intercostal muscles. The contraction of external intercostal muscles and contraction of the diaphragm muscles. Contraction of the external intercostal muscles and contraction of the diaphragm muscles. The diaphragm is contraction of the diaphragm muscles. The diaphragm is flatted. They convert to the flat like structures. So they are the upwards. They are the downwards. The diaphragm is downwards. They move to the abdominal cavity side. So the volume is increases. The thoracic volume is increases. Next one, contraction of external intercostal muscles. Contraction of external intercostal muscles. So the ribs and sternum move to the upwards. The sternum and ribs are moved to the upwards. So that time the thoracic cavity is increases. The thoracic cavity is increases. So the pressure is decreased. The pressure is decreases. That time atmospheric pressure is high. The lung pressure is low. So the air is coming from the atmosphere to lungs through the respiratory tract. Through the respiratory tract. So these are the inspiration. So the normal position, the muscles are contraction, they move to the flat. The ribs also move to the upwards. Sternum also upwards. The volume is increases. The air coming from the outside to inside. So these are the inspiration. Next one, expiration. Second one, expiration. Next one, expiration. So the expiration means these are the passive process. These are the passive process. The passive process means there is no loss of energy. There is no loss of energy. Next one, the time duration 3 seconds. The time duration 3 seconds. The time duration is 3 seconds. Next one, the expiration time. The expiration time. So the relaxation. Relax of external intercostal muscles and relax of diaphragm muscles. Relax of diaphragm muscles. The relax of external intercostal muscles and relax of the diaphragm muscles. Like so, this is a relaxation of the muscles. These ribs and sternum move to the downwards, the normal position. The ribs and sternum with the downwards, the normal position. Next one, diaphragm muscles are the relaxed. These are the normal dome shape. Normal dome shape. That time the thoracic volume cavity is decreases. The thoracic volume cavity is decreases. The pressure is increases. The lung pressure is increases. The lung pressure is increased because of the diaphragm, the normal position, sternum is normal position, ribs also normal position. So the thoracic cavity is decreases. The thoracic volume cavity is decreases. The pressure is increased. The pressure is increased. So that time the atmospheric pressure is the less. Atmospheric pressure the less. The lung pressure is the high. The lung pressure is high, atmospheric pressure is low. So the air move to the lungs to outside through the respiratory tract. The lung pressure is increases comparing to the atmospheric air. So the lung air going to the outside through the respiratory tract. So these are the expiration, inspiration and expiration. So the expiration, so they are the passive process. The time duration 3 minutes. Next one, the relaxation of the external intercostal muscles and relaxation of the diaphragm muscles. So the diaphragm is the normal position. Next one, ribs also normal position. The thoracic volume cavity is decreases, pressure is increases. The lung air going to the outside. So they are the expiration, inspiration and expiration. Next one, the forced respiration. The forced respiration. That time helps from the forced inspiration or forced respiration, expiration. The forced respiration, the forced inspiration, forced expiration, forced inspiration or forced expiration, they help from the internal intercostal muscles. The contraction of internal intercostal muscles. Contraction, relaxation of the internal intercostal muscles. These are helps from the forced respiration. Forced respiration. Normal respiration they helps from the external intercostal muscles. External intercostal muscles are the normal respiration. Helps from the normal respiration. So the internal intercostal muscles they helps from the forced respiration. Forced respiration. So they are the expiration and inspiration. Next one, the normal healthy human beings. Normal healthy human beings per minute 12 to 16 times per minute. Per minute, the respiration timings. The per minute, normal healthy human beings 12 to 16 times per minute. The inspiration and expiration one time. So they are the 1 minute time 12 to 16 times. So they are the normal healthy human beings. So they are the mechanism of breathing, inspiration and expiration. So these are the diaphragm. The diaphragm presenting on the diaphragm muscles. The ribs presenting on the costal muscles, external intercostal muscles, internal intercostal muscles. These muscles contraction and relaxation process. They the respiration process. So 4 marks, very important question, inspiration and expiration.